I just released a deluxe album, so if you're gay, autistic, trans, or just really emo, then you should check it out. I've got a music video, I've got some merch, and I have a Patreon too. And I have a Discord too if you want to make friends, because I know you have none. Hello, underachievers! Today, we're doing something a little bit fun, a little bit devious, a little bit mischievous. Given the state of the world right now, with all of its dictators and the fact that Trump's in power and trying to ban trans people from doing anything ever, I thought it would be a good time right now to create a TikTok account that is specifically supposed to give me conservative media. Because that's something terrifying about social media today, is that if you like the right thing, you will end up down the alt-right pipeline and you'll be stuck there forever. So that's where we're gonna be today. It's fun and cool that I'm doing it because I'm aware, I'm self-aware, and it's ironic for fun. But yeah, it terrifies me a little bit that like your 10-year-old little brother might come across a cringe compilation making fun of the transgenders and then turn into a Nazi within 2 months. So my friend Vigard has started a TikTok account where he's just liked the most horrific, terrible things ever. So we'll see what we're served today, and what we're doing is we're gonna put ourselves in the mind of a Republican conservative piece of shit, Tory, whatever the f it is, and we're gonna see what it will be like on a day-to-day just scrolling through TikTok, because I know that's what those losers do all day. Luckily, the first one on the feed is a very good one. Vigard's done an amazing job. So first up we have
transgenderism should be eradicated from public life.
Okay, wow. So this just popped up on the TikTok.
Yes, this was one of the first ones.
So this is from Jubilee, which I don't know how I feel about Jubilee. I used to love Jubilee because I was like, oh yeah, they're bringing people in with opinions and then they do fact checking, but I feel like nowadays it's just like 50 conservatives against 1 trans woman, see who loses out. So I mean, this is a great opening line, great for engagement, good job Jubilee.
Transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely.
Oh, so that's just a prompt. Is that... Wait, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
What does transgenderism in public look like to you?
It's allowing men to be treated for the purposes of the law as women. It's men taking 900 sports trophies from women in recent years.
900 is so funny. The fact that like they're banning trans women from competing in sports and there's like 10 women that are actually like qualified to be in these big competitions is insane.
They took 900. There's a report just came out from the United Nations actually. 890 trophies and medals across 600 women who were competitors across 29 different sports and 400 competitions. That came out like yesterday.
And they deserved them.
True.
How are you going to tell? What's the tea?
There are some giveaways.
Okay.
Contrary to what the trans activists
And what are they?
Oh, okay, wait, let's guess. Okay, wingspan. He's gonna talk about translators' wingspan, long arms, broad shoulders, muscle mass, jaw lines. What else is it? What's the thing that people use to like clock trans women and then accidentally end up clocking cis women in women's bathrooms?
You can tell all you want.
Yeah, you know, broad shoulders,
for the
Adam's
most part.
apple, and
Okay.
you know, like the face, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love this. Is this like one like transphobe versus a million trans people? Because I love the like yes.
You can usually tell.
Usually.
Not all the time, but usually. Yeah.
Okay. So if you can only usually tell, what are you going to do to prevent it?
Well, look, a man who doesn't even identify as trans, a man who's just a nefarious fellow could sneak into a woman's bathroom, and so we have to enforce the law.
93%. Because
Right, that's
what are you doing?
That's literally the point. That's the whole thing about like people being scared of trans people going in bathrooms is the fact that like if some guy wants to go in and assault someone in a bathroom, he's gonna do it. He's not gonna spend years of HRT and like therapy and change his name legally.
I mean, we have Republican parties who are literally putting a president who is a felon who has sexually assaulted people. What does that say to men?
Yeah, no one really buys that.
Apart from the law, he's a felon! Wait, okay, so maybe there were 900 trans women in sports, like, who gives a shit, who cares? But he's fully just like, yeah, look at these statistics, and then sees a felon, a man who has been convicted several times by the law that he wants to enforce with. Ugh, and what I hate about this the most is that, like, a lot of the issues that I have with Jubilee is that, like, the conservatives that they choose are clearly like career conservatives. Like they make so much money off of being like level-headed and seeming like they know what they talk about. And a lot of the time what Jubilee will do is they'll bring in a lot of people that are like clearly left, clearly have like the right ideas but don't have like the data to back it up, and they don't have the like demeanor that they need to be able to engage with these people. We've been doing it since like 2013, 2014 trans cringe compilations where like trans people are grumpy, they're angry. That is what a lot of media would like to push trans people looking like. I feel like that's why a lot of people end up believing in this just because they sound convincing. That's kind of my issue with Jubilee, is that like they set these things up as if they're equal. Here's our buddy, our fave. Fun fact, in 2016, my Instagram username was Sugar Daddy Donald, because at that point, before he came in power, we thought of him as a joke. So he's my papa.
Your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
That's a threat, like, on camera. Look, I don't know the law, but that does not feel legal. Imagine, like, cutting all federal funding to an entire state just because they let trans people do sports. That's an insane thing to do.
Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
I did history from the age of like 6 until 17. I did A-level history, and we researched the Nazi Party every single year because we were British and we needed to be told how great Churchill was and how amazing our country was. But the fact that like so many of the things that we studied about like Hitler's rise to power was exactly the kind of that Trump is doing. Like, obviously the Nazi salutes is one thing. The fact that he's so confident and happy to do that on camera because he knows there's not going to be any repercussions is terrifying. Here we have LGBTQ plus activist criticizes current trans activism, and so we have Blair White. I don't think I've made a video on Blair White, but you should not watch any Blair White videos. She's pretty much the like, I know it's overdone, but like the pick me trans girls. Like, I'm not like the other trans girls, like I'm normal, I'm not gross and disgusting, and let's see what she has to say to Piers Morgan.
The trans community has become so radioactive and such a repellent to common sense and reason that the person who made Dumbledore gay retroactively, that made Hermione Granger black retroactively, it takes a lot to get that person to be like, but you know what, the trans people are doing a bit much here. No, I think that should show everyone it's time to recalibrate and get some common sense.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing. Separate but not equal is not always a bad thing.
Separate but not equal. She can't even, oh my God! What she meant was separate but equal. As in men and women, they have different roles. Like, women should cook, make sandwiches, do anything their man wants, and men should go to work, make the money, and beat his wife. That's what separate but equal means. But she says separate but not equal. I hate how much money there is in like specifically LGBT conservatives, and especially in America. Like, there's so much money in the grift that like they will specifically be like, yeah, trans people, they're f***ing weird. Look at me though, give me money.
I want to ask you, Joe, because you're the only person who identifies as gay on this panel.
I also love that. A lot of the time when I see like TikToks like this that are for people that are right-wing watching them, they cut off at the end of like the conservatives saying anything, so you don't hear what the non-conservative says. I mean, the left does it as well, but that's because we're right, and I know there are gonna be conservatives here being like, you're just like us. Yes, except I'm better. But all this is like Blair White being like, trans people are crazy, like we just want to be like left alone, but those stupid f***ing trans are so obnoxious, and Piers is just like,
I'm a queer person.
Can I ask a dumb...
Okay. Up next, we have Charlie Kirk. If you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, you might recognize this most harrowing, most terrifying picture of a man smiling you've ever seen in your life.
When I grew up, calling someone queer was like a slur. Can you tell me what that means? I mean that sincerely.
Well, so what I know for a fact is that he knows what the story with that is, but he just wants to hear them say it in a way that he can catch them out for saying anything. A lot of people like this will be like, I'll engage in a healthy debate. I'll ask you genuine questions that I already have arguments against.
Queer, it's just a label.
What does the label mean?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. I'm not trying to put you as a trap, though. I mean this, because when I grew up, if I called somebody queer, I would get in trouble.
I know that man did not get in trouble for calling anyone queer. I'm sure he beat them up.
Queer is just something that you identify as with your sexuality. It can be related to gender, too.
Right, but how do you know once you achieve queer?
What? You achieve queer. Yeah, I just slept with 5 women, 5 men, 5 non-binary people, and then I got my official title of queer. Okay, no, so this is annoying because, like, this is the exact same thing with Ben Shapiro, where they'll go to, like, college campuses of people that are, like, maybe visiting or maybe, like, in their first year of, like, whatever they're studying. They don't have the arguments because maybe they don't go to a debate club. Maybe they haven't spent their entire life trying to argue with other people. A lot of the time, like, conservatives will try and, like, look really smart and scientific and try and, like, put definitions on every single thing and put data on every single thing where, like, human language doesn't necessarily always work that way. It develops, it evolves, and like the understanding of the word queer 100 years ago was different because it was a slur, but like slur reclamation is a thing. For a long time, I'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking trash. Yeah, tell me about it. Because I used to be called a well, I still am. But like, there's nothing wrong with a queer person calling themselves queer.
If I were to say I'm a conservative, let me give an example.
Yeah.
A conservative is someone who believes in small government, strong borders, American exceptionalism, the Constitution.
But if you're a conservative in Europe, you don't really think about American exceptionalism. Like, different definitions, different words mean different things in different places at different times.
The whole point of it is that it has a different definition for everyone.
Oh, you did not do a good job. I'm sorry, but you didn't. And that's another thing, because like obviously you can use gay as an umbrella term to mean not straight. Me and my friends would be like, oh, you're so gay. Like, I'm so gay, but most of us are just bi. We're back on Mr. Controversial now.
You think love is lying to people and deceiving people. I think love is telling people the truth and being consistent across the board.
The most loved I've ever felt was when my friends and family, my mother, my father, my extended family, everybody I know said, Noah, realistically, look, you have a and I felt joy. I felt joy for the first time in my life. That is true love.
Just imagine if a person was white and decided to identify as black and did all of these crazy things that
this
they
argument
thought
has been had so many times.
stereotypically, listen, that they did stereotypically what black people would do. We would be outraged.
We would.
It would be a sham.
I agree.
We would not accept it. And so we shouldn't do that. What Dylan Mulvaney is doing is wearing women face.
Women face is crazy. Women face is so f***ing crazy. How do people think that race and gender are the same thing and can be conflated in those ways? They can't. That's not how it works.
What were your thoughts on Elon Musk's hand gesture?
The same thing. He is not an
That's a gotcha.
It's the
Would you do that gesture right now?
Hi.
There you go.
I've not seen this one. That's crazy. Oh my god.
The hand goes to the chest beforehand.
Oh my god, bro.
That didn't feel a little weird?
Is it a form of bigotry to hate this type of person? Like, no, I don't think so, because there are reasons that everybody f***ing hates them. But they're so smug. So this one says, malicious compliance in action at the Wyoming legislature. I've never been able to pronounce that word, I'm sorry.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chairman. As the Senate overwhelmingly voted yes.
You can call me Mr. Chairman if you want.
Well, I cannot be compelled to use your preferred pronouns as you have all
Wait
voted.
a minute. I prefer to be called Chairman French.
I know, and you all voted that preferred pronouns cannot be compelled speech in SF 77. Anyway, my name is Britt Borrell.
We use their words against them. I love that. Look, I've been transgender on live for too long that I know all of the jokes, and I know it's always been like, yeah, well, if they misgender me, I'm gonna misgender them, but the fact that it's literally in court, that was nice. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. We have more Piers Morgan coming up.
Why do we give 1 day to veterans of world wars and a month to gay people, for example? To be clear, there's no straight month, right? There's no celebration of my sexuality.
What? Like, this is why I've been like, I'm so tired of reaction videos, because they have not developed their arguments, these people. It's been the same thing over and over again. Oh, there's 72 genders, or I identify as Apache helicopter. Why don't straight people get a f***ing month? Why do you think there's Black History Month? Maybe because they were treated like for a long time, and they had to fight to be able to be recognized and respected, and they still have to do that now. What would straight people celebrate? What have straight people done? The point is, they've not had to go through hardships because of their straightness. That's the whole point of Pride Month.
And also, their signs would be terrible. It would be live, laugh, love all over.
We have more Charlie Kirk to celebrate.
What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
No, you're not. Is this just what he does? He like asks questions that he already has like arguments for.
Do you treat men and women differently?
Well, it depends in what context, though. Politically, no. Under the law, no. Should they be treated differently in societal customs and norms? Yes.
Why?
Like, we should open doors for women. We should honor and protect women.
I cannot stand. I never understood that when I was a girl. Like, my school had these dinners. The guys made us food, and then they were told specifically by the housemasters, okay, you need to open the doors for the girls. You need to pull out the chairs for the girls. You need to pour their water. And I know that like some people like that. It's cute. But I've always found that really patronizing, the fact that you feel like I can't open the door myself. That is not like the fact that that's the first thing they brought up as well. Like, yes, we treat women differently. We open their doors because their puny little bones can't bear with the weight of it.
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're a feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
He's fucking barking at her.
I have XY chromosomes.
Okay.
Can I give birth?
No, you can't.
Bingo. That's why categorization matters.
That's his idea of a gotcha. This is like, he can't get what he wants out of this lady at all. She's just like, this is stupid.
I'm a mother. How can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
You wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%.
That was not the question, my guy.
If a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, man, I want you to know you're really a man.
Because why would they say that? Because you haven't transitioned, because you don't, that's the value, you don't, oh! I understand how it can be hard to understand that not everything needs to be defined, absolutely, and that sometimes identity is a bit wonky, but like the way that their brain works is that if they don't understand it, they just outright reject it. So the fact that they just ask these questions knowing that they're not gonna understand it just makes them look stupid.
Why can't marriage be allowed with 2 men or 2 women? That question got me.
Yeah, so I mean, allowed and what it is are 2 different things. So again, just strictly from what marriage has always been is the idea of 2 separate parts coming in a union to be able to have, hopefully, a lifelong partnership to raise kids, adopt kids, or have kids.
I know 2 men that come together in a union.
Wait, sorry, did he say part of marriage has always been?
About having kids.
About having kids adopted as well.
Yes, yeah, in the Bible, I remember. So much of their understanding of the world is based purely on religion, and they can't seem to separate the fact that, like, one, not everybody believes in the religion that they do, but also the fact that, like, especially in America, separation of the church and the state is part of the Constitution. And they can't seem to get past the fact that, like, their definition of marriage is taken from the Bible. Because, of course, marriage, you know, kind of has roots in religion, but we're in 2025. Like, we don't stone women. We don't hang people up on crosses anymore. That's not acceptable. There are so many things, like, we wear several different materials, and that's not a sin. I know they're conservatives. They want to conserve their values, but they don't live in reality. Like, they don't live in the way that people actually live in the world in 2025.
When fathers are no longer around, crime goes up, poverty goes up.
Do you think that's because there's not a man in the family, or because it's kind of hard for children to have their parents just completely abandon them? Oh! It really bothers me that, like, for the stupid person that doesn't really understand anything, or maybe not stupid, maybe just like misinformed, maybe not, doesn't have like a great education or whatever, they will see somebody saying this stupid shit and be like, yeah, I think that makes sense, and not look any further. And I think that's the thing that annoys me most about Republicans, is they specifically prey on people that maybe aren't that educated. The fact that, like, Trump is trying to, like, with education, it's all kind of obvious. Like, that's the kind of thing when it comes to fascism, is that we keep the people stupid. We keep them uneducated. We don't give them resources. I guess, like, people are victims if they fall into this pipeline, because it's not like they're purposely doing it because they want to hurt people. I think that's enough of that. Let me know if you want me to continue working on this account. I'm sure we'll have very interesting ones if I keep liking this. That's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it or hated it just as much as me. Have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. Goodbye. Sorry. Oh, wait. I'm speaking to you now.
Oh, so, yes. yes.
So this just popped up. I was trying to restart it so then you could respond.
Oh, you're asking me again?
So, well,
I thought that was a statement.
No.